You know, I'm very privileged that he is live with us tonight. People are saying we got the first interview with Piyush Goyal. I said, well and good, but I got the first live interview with Piyush Goyal and I got it at 9 o'clock. So welcome, Piyush Goyal ji. It's good to see you. We don't see each other as often as we used to when you were in Mumbai and I was in Mumbai, but you're a busy man, you're a headline maker, but you're really dynamic. Now you're in the Lok Sabha. And I'm meeting you on a very happy day. I was just saying, Mr. Piyush Goyal, before I come with my first question to you, I was just summarizing what I was saying to all our viewers, that the viewers must understand that the Prime Minister is a deep thinker and everything that he's doing is interconnected. If he's saying stop online betting, stop all this money going into online gambling, he wants that money to be used productively. And similarly, he's saying, don't buy gutka, don't be an alcoholic, don't eat carbonated food. I'm going to make that a sinful item. He's saying, don't buy a yacht. Put that money you would buy into a yacht, into something that will be more productive and less leisureful. So I have always believed, Mr. Goyal, and I can start with on that prism with you, that there's always a deep strategic vision behind the economic policy of the Prime Minister, which is often not understood. Sometimes the responses to it are very shallow. Since you work so closely with him, would you like to respond to that and put this whole reform in perspective for us? Mr. Goyal.
Thank you very much, Arnab, and always delightful to be on your show and your channel. My warm wishes and compliments to all your viewers as we all collectively assemble to thank Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi for the game-changing reforms. I personally think it's the largest reform India has seen since independence. Really? And truly, here you have a Prime Minister very sensitive to the nation's needs, to the people's desires and aspirations. Here you have a Prime Minister who thinks laterally, comprehensively and holistically, as you were rightly pointing out, whose every step has multi-dimensional impact, who has systematically over 11 years taken a broken economy, a fragile 5 economy, to greater heights, the top 5 economies of the world. And by 2027, we'll be the 3rd largest economy on the globe. A person who has taken 25 crore people out of poverty. He understands the aspirations of the youth. He understands that the women need help and need to see cosmetics, for example. Would love to use the beauty products. Now, there was a point of time where people would not even recognize that beauty products and cosmetics also are important in a person's life. He understands that television sets are getting bigger and better, and therefore now there's an aspirational to have a little larger television screen. He doesn't see air conditioners as a luxury item. Today, more and more of the middle class has started using air conditioners. Bikes, our youth want to have a bike to college or to work. He's made bikes at a concessional GST, lower GST. If you go to see Arnab, from the moment you get up till the moment you get back to bed and sleep, a person, if he thinks about everything that touches his life, he will find in some form or the other a GST benefit that this transformational reform announced yesterday has touched, whether it's textiles, the clothes he wears, the shoes he wears, the watch he wears, the spectacles one wears, the furniture in your home, the bike or the car by which you travel, the public transport, the medicines one uses or the medical devices one uses, the list just goes on and on. Every sector of society has gained from yesterday's game-changing transformational reform.
It's very significant that you have said that this is, in your view, the biggest single reform since independence. Are you saying so only for the benefit that it gives to the average citizen? Or are you saying so with view of its bigger impact in the medium to long term?
Arnab, I have 3 or 4 dimensions when I say this. Do you remember before 2014, there were nearly 30, 35 different types of taxes, levies, duties, and what not have you. The Congress claimed that they made an effort to try and bring a single tax, but they failed miserably because nobody trusted them. Nobody was willing to go along with the Congress style of GST because Congress was not willing to guarantee them sustained revenue. Prime Minister Narendra Modi offered a 5-year window of 14% growth in their tax collection. 14% is not small enough.
Yes, yes.
And the normal course state's revenue would not grow by 14%. But Prime Minister said, I will give you 14% growth. Committed, guaranteed. And the central government paid for that through the various taxes that we forego and gave into the compensation cesspool. And thanks to that, all the states unanimously agreed, even the opposition rule states, the taxes were merged, rates were brought down to from the then prevailing multiple rates, and the cascading effect of which was a big strain on consumers. Over the last 8 years, continuously different taxes were brought down, process simplification and computerization was undertaken, and this time around, he has revamped the entire GST framework, made it simpler to operate, provided benefit on such a vast area of products that will give a big demand boost to the economy. It will be bigger, simpler, more effective tool to promote consumption expenditure, one of the 2 pillars of the GDP growth, infrastructure and consumption. You are all aware that on infrastructure, Mr. Modi's track record is fabulous. The growth in Indian infrastructure anywhere in the country, excellent highways and super roads as good as autobahns, doubling the port capacity, increasing airports from 74 to 158 and modern world-class airports, introducing 104 new inland waterways, the renewable energy, which is 50% of our capacity today, utilities, water supply, taking toilets to everybody's homes, water from a tap through the Jal Jeevan mission. I can list out endless programs on infrastructure which have had a multiplier impact on the economy. When you couple that with consumption spending, which will get a big boost from the GST reform, you can imagine that collectively he has laid the foundation for India's growth journey in the Amrit Kal. We are the fastest growing large economy in the world today. We will continue to be so for the next 22 years so that we emerge as a prosperous, developed nation. Viksit Bharat 2047, which is the collective desire and commitment of 140 crore Indians who are looking up to Prime Minister Modi's decisive and very sensitive leadership to lead us in this journey to Viksit Bharat.
Mr. Piyush Goyal, you are always clear and you don't mince your words. In fact, I loved it when at a recent startup conference you said, and it became viral, everybody commented, why has he said this? You said that your job is not to have more people delivering food. You should be doing startups in sectors that will redefine our manufacturing, our innovation, our R&D. And you are spot on. You know, the fact is, Mr. Piyush Goyal, nobody wants to hear the truth. But sometimes you speak the truth in a manner, some people see it as harsh. I think it's fantastic. I think it's necessary. In that context, I would like to ask you, I was hearing your speech at that Bharat Nutraverse Expo, where you were urging the industry leaders to quote-unquote fully pass on GST rate cut benefits to consumers. I think you made that point a couple of times. Now, you know, Mr. Goyal, last 1 hour I opened the calls. Many people asked the same question. Oh, very good, government has done this, but are we going to get it? Is it going to happen on September 22nd? Either they think it's too good to be true or they're cynical of companies, corporates about passing it on. My question is, in some segments, it's even 0%, you know. Everyday items, 5%. What enforcement mechanisms will have to be there to ensure full compliance and immediate compliance from 22nd September.
While, Arnabji, while of course the law provides for mechanisms to ensure that profiteering is not done out of these rate cuts, but Prime Minister Modi's model of working is very different. He believes in trust. He trusts the people of India, the business persons of India, the traders, the industry participants, just as 140 crore Indians trust Prime Minister Modi. You may recall Jan Vishwas. Through the Jan Vishwas bill last year, he liberalized so many laws, decriminalized them. Said, I trust the people of India don't want to do wrong. And if they make a small mistake, we should not be threatening them with jail. Now we've come out with Jan Vishwas Bill 2, where another 355 provisions are being decriminalized. And he's not satisfied. He's given me a target of 1,000 more, of which 500 we have already identified and are in interministerial and stakeholder consultations. So the idea is that we trust the people of India. And we've had conversations with different industry sectors and captains of industry, big and small. They have all assured us that this entire benefit will be passed on to consumers because it is in their own interest. Ultimately, lower prices will lead to higher demand. Higher demand increases your business volumes, brings economies of scale, helps you improve your productivity and efficiency, helps you become more competitive and cost conscious. With that, you become competitive in world markets. So not only the domestic, then you can look at exports. So again, it's a multifarious, multi-dimensional thinking.
Mr. Piyush Goyal, when the BJP first came to power, I take you back to the time when you gave up all your corporate career, joined politics full time. The middle class of India supported you in a big way. The middle class believed in you and still believes in you. At times, sometimes the middle class has felt that, the government could have done more. I believe this particular step today has removed all those apprehensions, I think, for the middle class people in this country, because the Prime Minister has taken this cause of the middle class from the front. As much as you can share, can you give any insider story on how the Prime Minister views the role of the middle class, how he looks at the middle class? The middle class of this country, which has truly believed in the Prime Minister's vision, has been very happy about this move. But can you tell me the Prime Minister's personal thinking about the middle class? Because he's not often talking about it as much as he speaks about the economically deprived classes, but you would know him, his approach. Can you share something with us?
See, my Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi is a very balanced thinker and doer. Obviously, unless we have inclusive growth and the poorer sections of society, the marginalized sections, come up in life and get into the middle class, the country cannot prosper. For a nation like India to prosper, we have to take people out of poverty, and we are really proud of our Prime Minister, who has taken 25 crore people, a record unheard of in the world anywhere, out of poverty in such a short span of time. They have also come into the middle class. But throughout his tenure, if you look back, you will find that he has had a very sympathetic and very balanced approach towards the middle class. Often, it was not recognized as much as it should have been. If you look back on the 11-year track record, every single opportunity he got, he has focused on trying to upgrade the life of the middle class people. After all, when he gives 60 crore people the benefit of Ayushman Bharat, the free healthcare, obviously the country doesn't have so many poor people. They are largely the middle class, the new middle class, who is getting the benefit of free healthcare. When he provides social security through various pension schemes, where he gives the armed forces one rank, one pension, which was a demand for years. And Arnab, you were at the forefront of that.
Absolutely, sir.
That was one of the first steps taken by Prime Minister Modi in 2014. It was the middle class who benefited from that. When he introduced standard deduction again, which was withdrawn years ago, It was the middle class that he had in mind. Prime Minister has always taken care of the middle class. In earlier years, we had a very broken economy that we had inherited from the Congress. It was a fragile five economy. The banking system had collapsed. The foreign exchange reserves were low. Inflation was super high. Growth was abysmally low. In that situation, he had to prioritize. And despite that, he continued to care both for the poor and the middle class. He has taken the poor into the middle class, and his entire vision is to empower our middle class, who contributes the most to economic growth. So that the entire nation, the 140 crore Indians, rise in life. And we give them a good quality of future, good quality of life in the future. Every child born in India should see prosperity, good quality education, good quality healthcare, good quality infrastructure, quality housing, 24 hours electricity, water coming into his home, a toilet in his home, cooking gas connection. After all the cooking gas connections mostly went to the middle class. All the poor coming into the middle class are enjoying the fruits of all the work that Prime Minister Modi has done. So the middle class is central to his vision to take the country forward by 2047, growing from a $4 trillion economy to a $30 trillion economy, $35 trillion economy. And in that, today 140 crore Indians have resolved that we will buy Swadeshi goods. We'll support each other. We'll support domestic industry. And I think that is the strength of India's middle class.
Congress, which you mentioned, is a very funny party. They agreed to GST in Parliament, and then they called it Gabbar Singh tax. And today, the whole day, every Congress leader from Chidambaram to everyone is calling TV cameras saying, I am the author, I am the inspiration, I am the reason this change happened. They're claiming authorship. No, they're trying to claim authorship for this. You know that. They're trying to claim authorship.
Well, आपने शेख चिल्ली की कहानी सुनी है ना
जी
वो ख्वाब दिखाते रहे प्रधानमंत्री मोदी काम करते रहे
अरे वाह
वो स्कीम्स ड्रॉप करते रहे लेकिन प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी ने धरातल पर जनता की सेवा की वो लोग करप्शन में लिप्त रहे चाहे कोलगेट हो 2G टेलीकॉम स्कैम हो कॉमनवेल्थ गेम्स हो 40,000 रुपए का टिश्यू पेपर लिया जाता था और उन्होंने किसी को नहीं छोड़ा अंतरिक्ष को भी नहीं छोड़ा लेकिन प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी ने बेदाग 11 वर्ष जनता की सेवा की और आखिर जब हम भ्रष्टाचार से मुक्ति दिलाते हैं तो वो एडिशनल रेवेन्यू भी तो देश के खाते में देश के खजाने में जाता है और उसी से तो देश का विकास और गति लेता है
जी नहीं वो तो है I am not doubting that. I don't take the Congress seriously on this. I just said it. But point is also, Piyush Goyal ji, I have been trying to catch you for a very long time, But your team doesn't let us talk to you on Trump. Viewers, Piyush Goyal is the man who must be wearing armor when he lands in Washington. I sometimes wonder whether he wears some special bulletproof suit. Do you wear a special bulletproof suit when you go to negotiate with the Americans?
We have.
Huh? You must be having something. Oh God!
We have.
How are you doing this, by the way? I mean,
Arnab, I can tell you. Arnab, we have good relations with the Americans. We have good relations with our counterparts, the Commerce Secretary or the U.S. Trade Representative. We are negotiating in good faith. There will be occasional disturbances as we go along, but I can assure you the US and India are friends, they are strategic partners, we are allies, they trust and like Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and I'm sure the misunderstandings, if any, or the wrong track in which some thoughts have gone, will get resolved and we will meet the long-term aspirations of the people of the US and India through a fair, equitable, and balanced free trade agreement, respecting the sensitivities of the people of both countries.
No, because there were reports which suggested
one-sided relationship.
No, there were reports which suggested that after the comments made by the US Treasury Secretary, there were some reports that India has effectively walked out from the trade talks, and you have gone on record to say we will neither bow down or appear weak. Now, you are the head of the delegation. You are responsible for securing the trade deal with the US. Is the trade deal still on the table? Do you see a timeline for it? Is it still on the table? Is there a timeline for it? How do you view it?
We negotiate with timelines. You may be aware, I've said it on television many times to you, that we never negotiate with timelines. We negotiate in good faith, and I have the courage of conviction that under Prime Minister Narendra Modi's leadership, certainly we will be able to come to a fair and equitable free trade agreement, or maybe the first tranche of the bilateral trade agreement that was discussed and decided by our leaders in February. And we'll try to do it soon.
So you're saying it's not necessary to do everything in one go. When you say first tranche is, I mean, there are sticky areas of, GM crops, and there are agriculture-related issues, and, you're saying all those issues need not all be solved in one go. We can do it in tranches, or we're likely to do it in tranches.
You will recall that in February, the joint announcement spoke of tranche 1 of the bilateral trade agreement.
Okay.
So I can assure you India's interests, our farmers' interests, our interests of our fishermen, of our small-scale industry, MSMEs, will always be paramount. Our religious sensitivities will always be respected and protected, and will certainly work towards agreement which is a win-win and which respects each other's sensitivities.
Right, but they're just talking to you. I mean, sorry, being curious reporter here, they're still talking to you, Ms. Piyush Goyal. It's...
all negotiations happen in the closed room, not through the media.
How I would like to be a fly on the wall. You wear a suit or something? I'm just sorry, a lighter question. What happens, Piyush? When you go in these circumstances, is it war? Are you having it out? Do you have a coffee with each other after that? Do you talk normally? How is it happening? I mean,
not at all.
No?
Not at all. We have very friendly relations, and I am very comfortable with my counterparts.
Right.
We have very frank and healthy discussions.
Do you feel like when you see a statement from Mr. Navarro, do you also feel like giving it back? You're always very controlled with your words and expressions. You never got into a war of words.
Have you heard? Have you ever heard me say anything like that?
No.
Anytime?
Never. In all these years I've known you, never.
So I think we have. This is a very consequential, strategic relationship.
Yes.
And we respect this relationship.
Last question to you, sir. Just last question to you. And by the way, we just had a tweet from the Prime Minister, I'm sure you are more than aware, where he said that, he's had a great chat with the EU and looking forward to concluding a EU trade deal very, very soon. Can you throw any light on that? Because this conversation that has happened must have happened in the backdrop of almost a lot of work being done.
Certainly, the EU and India are engaged in very intense negotiations and discussions.
Yes.
My Commerce Secretary was in Brussels only Monday, Tuesday.
Yes.
Their team comes down next week for negotiation round. The Trade Commissioner Maros Sherkovich will be in India from 11th onwards. Wow. So we are in a regular dialogue in a very good atmosphere. And just like we concluded a very, very innovative agreement with EFTA, Switzerland, Norway, Liechtenstein, and Iceland. Just like last month, we concluded the UK trade deal.
Yes.
Where Prime Minister Modi and Prime Minister Starmer were there present when we executed the final documents.
At Chequers, yes.
I'm sure we'll be able to do a good, fair deal with the EU also.
Last point, sir. is that was this GST major announcement, which you have started by saying is the biggest reform since independence, was this a consequence of the tariff issue with the United States?
How can it be, Arnab? Look at the vast depth of changes. This takes months of hard work. The labor of love that must have gone into this would probably run into more than a year.
True.
The work started with groups of secretaries, groups of ministers, Honorable Finance Minister putting in hours and burning the midnight oil with her team, the Honorable Prime Minister giving us guidance and really running this whole process like a captain. It has been a lot of painstaking work, but we knew that the compensation sets will come to an end around this time in the coming few months. So obviously this was preparation was going on. It is a matter of coincidence that the two have, that the twain have met, as they say.
Yeah.
Well, our effort is to promote domestic demand. Our effort is to help our consumers. And the larger message is of Swadeshi, that the sweat and toil of our Indian people, the products of India made on Indian soil, देश की मिट्टी में बना हुआ, भारत के खून पसीने से बना हुआ सामान ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा बिके, लोगों के घरों में पहुँचे. And I find that today 140 crore Indians are very passionate about buying Indian.
That's true.
Be Indian, buy Indian.
That's true.
Story is really catching on like wildfire. Yes. And I request you to run a campaign on Republic, which is Bharat's channel.
Yes.
Run a campaign on Swadeshi and ensure that every child born in this country gets prosperity, with each of us supporting each other by buying Swadeshi goods in the future. Forget the past, whatever has happened. Frankly, Narendra Modi ji is meeting the dreams, the vision and mission of Mahatma Gandhi. Be it Swachhata, be it inclusive growth, be it customer is king, Mahatma Gandhi used to say that, be it his mission of Swadeshi, everything that Mahatma Gandhi ji said, Pradhan Mantri Narendra Modi is fulfilling.
Well, that's tremendous. I thank you very much, Mr. Goyal. You've been very candid. And what I like is the hard work that the Modi government puts in. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the best thing. Hard work, complete dedication, and selflessness. I thank you, Piyush Goyal. This has been wonderful. Look forward to seeing you soon. And best of luck with the EU trade deal as well. Thank you. Master Negotiator, Union Minister for Commerce and Industry,
Thank you,
Goyal, ladies and gentlemen. Remarkable man. Remarkable man. Thank you so much, Piyush.